DC here. Hi guys and gals. Hey, it's Sunday morning. Yeah, coffee time. And it's actually quite cold outside. I decided to come out for my coffee, but maybe I should have stayed inside. It's like just under freezing. But we got some snow, another brushing of snow, or dusting of snow, I guess we could say. Yeah, I'll just show it around quickly. Yeah. And a lot of birds again. Are they up there? I guess you can almost look through the trees. I don't have a zoom on this right now. So if you look through the trees on top of the house there, you can see all the birds. So that's quite amusing to see how they kind of get along, if I could put it this way. So you've got a mixture of birds here. There's doves. Yeah, we have some doves, and we've got the pigeons and crows and the smaller ones, which I just saw over there. And they kind of cohabitate, I would say. I say kind of, because the mean ones are really the crows. There's no doubt about that. You know what? I'm going to go inside. It's actually quite cold. And my coffee might just kind of get a little bit cool there. Just going to open this up. Walk through and go sit down. Just a minute. Let's see how I can get in there without. Okay. Close the door so I don't freeze the house. Mrs. DC is still having her nap. Yesterday around midnight here, but it was around 6 o'clock in was 6 o'clock in Canada? Yeah, of course there's 6 hours difference. So we talked about, I don't know, from 11 to midnight here. There was a party for Mrs. DC's mom last week. I mean, the party was this week, but last week she turned 90, and they made a family meal together. You see, I'm just going to sit down here. I won't make it too complicated. Of course, I'll be backlit, but anyway. Yeah, so take that off. Yeah, so managed to waste 2 minutes just moving around. Yeah, so it was really good actually to get to chat with everybody, or almost everybody was there. Well, we did manage to chat, and 90 years old. Doesn't happen every day, does it? It's like, so my hair looks crazy. I pushed it down. I'm looking more bald than I actually am on this thing. Well, of course, I know I am a little bit, but a receding hairline. But it comes out. Sometimes people are saying that cameras show no pity. And one of the reasons this one is it's a wide angle lens and just spreads everything out. So it spreads out my forehead as well. Yeah. Oh, yesterday we were watching on Amazon Prime. Actually, it's not Amazon Prime. Here it's called Prime Video. We were watching the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, something like that. It was quite funny, but you know what got to me actually in a way was how much that we really don't know about different subcultures. Because Mrs. Maisel, I mean, at least the first few we've listened to 5, 6, maybe 7 shows in the first season, and there's a whole Jewish subculture in New York, which you hear about, but we don't know. And then I was thinking, it's interesting because when we were in Canada, so in Montreal, there was also a Jewish subculture there in Montreal, and really we didn't know much about it. We would go to the deli, and we loved the pastrami and smoked meats and stuff like that. But it was like that's about as close as we got when we were kids. You see how, I mean, you probably, if you come from Canada, or you might have heard of the novel. It was Two Solitudes, and it was like basically two subcultures. So basically, it was the French and English speaking. But there's just so many of those solitudes, and we just live right beside a lot of them, and we don't know what's going on over here in Switzerland. We have there's three main subcultures. There's actually four official languages here, but the three main ones are the German speaking one, the French speaking one, and the Italian one, and then there's a smaller one called the Romanche. But the German ones, the German people the German speaking people are people think they're very stoic and boring and stuffy and so on. And the French are légère, and they're always the party going people and everything. And it's just these are stereotypes, and they're just so wrong. I've lived in both, and the town that we live here now is officially it's a bilingual town, but I mean there's more French speaking people, and actually there's a lot of foreigners which tend to speak French over here. But at least in this part of but what I'm just saying is that there's both. There is really both speaking groups here, but you really realize when you get to know them how wrong your ideas are. I've spoken about it once. I mean, quite a while back, when we lived, and this is when our children were small. I mean, I was going to say in the early '90s. So first son of DC was born in 1988. He actually is an old man now, isn't he? He's 33. But we would have on Fridays. Basically, I was almost going to say TGIF parties on the playground between the apartment buildings with parents from different groups, but actually mostly Swiss Germans. And a bottle of wine and have fun, and the kids were playing, and we would chat together. And when we moved in the mid '90s, basically, well, actually not so well, 1993. We moved to the French-speaking part, so actually where we live, the part of the town where we are now, not this house. And we thought, we'll do the same thing. We'll integrate, And we got such a bad reception when I brought a bottle of wine. They said, "You do not bring wine to the playground," and so on. And I thought, like, wow. The so-called easygoing French-speaking people were uptight like mad, and I can't say that I actually appreciated it, no, but what I have realized, and I've been working now in Switzerland for close to 40 years, that I really appreciated much more working with the so-called uptight Swiss German people. There was, first off, relationships were much more forward, but at the same time, the pleasure part was as well. You knew where you were, you knew where you stood. I think that's the thing. You knew where you stood, and I've often found that with the French-speaking world or the Latin-speaking world, you don't always know where you stand. And maybe that's, part of the things when you're living in a place like Canada. I don't know, in Quebec in Canada, there's these two cultures which supposedly, one is a very stodgy and boring group of people, and the other ones are the great fun-loving people. And that's not actually really all the time the truth. Okay, I've been talking actually long enough. So you tell me what you think about it. How's your interactions been with with multicultural? Like I say, in certain places like Canada, especially Quebec, I was going to say in Quebec, they don't want you to be multicultural. Actually, that's why the main main newspapers there do not want you to be multicultural. They want you to be one culture. Okay, I better stop. DC signing off. Take care. Have a good Sunday. Bye bye.